So for part 8, the final part of this story, we're going to talk about how the Tudor dynasty is going to come to an end. So clearly, as we mentioned before, Elizabeth I, she never marries. And she also never produces an heir to take the throne after her. So when Elizabeth dies, she has no heir, no pun intended there. So she selects Mary, Queen of Scots' son, James I. So what's interesting is she ends up selecting her cousin, who she executed's son, to be her rightful heir. So because of James taking over, even though he is a distant relative of the Tudors, this ends their dynasty and is going to start a new dynasty. So we end the Tudor dynasty, and this starts now what we call the Stuart dynasty, because James is a Stuart. His father was Henry Stuart, so now he is James Stuart and starts the Stuart dynasty. So what's significant about James and his leadership is that he takes over, as I told you, at a time where religion is a big kind of heated issue. James was a Protestant, and he commissioned the writing of an English version of the Bible, which was called the King James Bible. Some of you have maybe heard of that version before, because it's still a version that is used commonly in many churches today. So James produces the first English Bible, and this drafting of the Bible is threatening to different groups in England. So his drafting of his version of the Bible threatened Catholics and various sects of Protestants. Various sects of Protestants, like the Puritans, who felt persecuted. The Puritans who felt persecuted. So what's interesting is that many other kind of religious sects, as well as Catholics, didn't like him writing his version of the Bible, because they felt like, especially the Puritans, who believed in the Bible in kind of its purest form, that it shouldn't be altered and that you should live a life according to kind of what the Bible says. They didn't like that. And so by speaking out against the king and his version of the Bible, they were oftentimes persecuted for doing so. So as a result, they decided that they were going to kind of flee. So we would call them a group of religious separatists, meaning kind of breaking away from the norm, fled to the New World, which at the time the New World was called America. And this would start the beginning of British colonization. So these Puritans, also sometimes called pilgrims, were traveling from England to America, specifically Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts, and they were going to start to establish some of the first colonies that we have here, the 13 original colonies. And so if it wasn't for kind of this series of events and all of the back and forth in England between Catholics and Protestants and things like that, this event may have never unfolded the way it did. And as a result, our country might not be here. So that is the significance of the Tudor dynasty and kind of our lesson on that.